Alright, Jeffrey, here's the system. See, it works, just turns on and off these lights. And let's go ahead and get started on how it works. You'll see that I have the 8 different individual battery powered strands, and they're connected. In the middle there's these 2 receiver boxes right here, and there's an on-off switch for these receiver boxes. So there's going to be these audio cables kind of things coming off. Each one has one of those coming off, and what that does is this is what controls. This is the radio receiver part. So if you unplug this, it'll just still sit there and work individually. So if you want these lights just to be lit on their own, you really don't care about the radio part, you can just coil this up and turn these on, and it can work on their own. But if you want the radio receiver to work, then you need to engage this switch, and that will turn this on so it receives. So first off, let's say I hit my button, and you'll see that they all turned off, just to kind of give you an idea. So it holds them off whenever the button is pressed. So by me turning the switch on the radio receiver off, these go back to their normal operation. And I would advise, if you don't care about the radio receiver, you take it out, because it does some weird stuff where if you only unplug like 3 of them, that last one won't be able to stay on, or something like that. Anyway, I might have it backwards. So it might deal with turning them off. Anyway, so go ahead and get started on this. So how these things work is they have this power switch right here. Turn those on. You can see these, right? Okay, so there's a power switch right here. The black dot, or the black side, is where the power is activated. So if you want it to turn it on, of course, you have to put it all the way over there. There's a middle position, and then there's a far position. Both of those are off, so you have to go all the way to the black to turn it on. And then additionally, there's this little kind of selector switch. It's a dip switch, and this controls the rate at which the lights pulsate. So this is a binary 3, 1, 1. So you'll see that it goes incredibly slow. And then if you change it to a binary 2, it goes a little bit faster. If you go to a binary 1, it goes a little bit faster than that even. Or I might have it backwards. I don't know which one's the most significant bit. Anyway, whatever. And then you go all the way to 0, and that's the fastest one. And you'll see that it pulsates pretty fast compared to the other one. And another thing, each of these microchips is programmed with a specific one. So each strand, each one of these is programmed differently. There's two of every type in there. So what I mean by that is, you'll see that this one, it says on the back 100%, and then has the down arrow. So what that means is that whenever this is started, I can just go to the slowest point just to illustrate it. Whenever it starts at like full brightness, 100% brightness, and it starts decreasing, so it fades. Versus other ones, there's some that start off at 0, and other ones start at 75%, and just kind of read the back, and it says if it decreases or increases. And why that's important is just to kind of get the random twinkling in there. And see, that one's 75% down. This one is 25% up, and then there's a 0% in here. Yeah, 0% up. So this starts basically off and then starts getting brighter. Anyway, so that's kind of how those work. So what you're going to do is, when you get them, you need to put the batteries in it. As soon as you put the batteries in it, turn it on and kind of mess with the speeds of to see how fast you want them and to kind of get the random twinkle in there. And what I've done is I've kind of set them up randomly so that they kind of twinkle, and they go at different rates, and you can really see them at nighttime. Anyway, and then also, so you set them up where you want them, and then you take these cables and you attach it to this receiver box. And I have the other receiver box over there taken apart, but you can. The other thing is, what you want to make sure that you turn the power off when you're not using it, and then of course you turn it on before you're going to use it. But I wouldn't leave it on for too long, because these are based off 9-volt batteries. They're not based off of AA's, so I don't know how long the batteries stay good in these. You can do a test and just kind of leave it on and leave the lights off, and that's the taking up the most power, and that might that might last for whatever your time frame is, or you're going to develop kind of a time frame from there. So this is it taken apart. You can see there's one screw, just this one screw. I had to clean out some of the other stuff. It's not focusing. There we go. So I had to cut away some of the other stuff because they wouldn't fit with the battery in there. But so basically, all you need to do when you get these, you need to be careful, because these wires can break off if you mess with them. I had it happen to me. I just resoldered it on, but since I doubt you have a soldering iron, I'd try to be very careful with this. So what you're going to do, how I'm going to send it to you, that's going to be in there. You're going to unscrew that, take that off. There's not going to be a battery in it, but make sure that the power is off. So that switch down is powered off and up is powered on. And you can verify, of course, by taking one of these, plugging it in, and doing the whole transmit thing. But anyway, so when you're going to get this, you're going to need to put 9-volt batteries in there, and kind of how they go in there. It's a tight fit, so you'll see that there's this ridge right here kind of holds the battery in and it holds the board in. So this might be moved around from shipping or whatever. You're going to want to make sure that this is underneath all those little parts and pushed over to the left as far as possible. And don't really mess with it too much, right? Then you're going to put your 9-volt on there, and then just simply put it in diagonal and slide it in like that, and then push it down. And then, of course, install your cover back on and tighten that up. And then after that, of course, you plug all of these in from your individual ones. And I measured these out, so these are 5 feet each. Since that the wall is 10 feet long, you should have plenty of room to put these two in central locations. You have one there, one here, obviously. And that's how it works. The transmitter, I'm finishing it. I'm just boxing it up, basically. So it'll be done. But again, it's the same kind of thing. The difference with it is it works off of these AA batteries, and there's no way to turn it off. So you only want to put batteries in it when you are ready to go, basically. I tried putting an off switch in there, and it didn't work as well as I wanted. I didn't have room. So anyway, this will be cleaned up, and of course you can see the antenna on it. And the other switch I had, instead of the push button, the lever switch didn't work. It was having problems. I've had a lot of problems getting this working, kind of programming stuff, but for the most part I got it now. And I tested this out. I went upstairs into a different room and was flipping the switch, and it was working. So I think the total distance that you can operate the system on is 50 meters from everything I've read online, and that's with the just these little antenna that are on the board that don't really have anything. There you go. These antenna, right? So what I did is on the transmitter, I soldered on this wire that's kind of like a perfect length, and that increases the transmitter's range. So you should be good. Anyway, let me know if you got questions. And good luck, buddy.